So in today's video, we're going to continue working on our horror game. Recently, we have added the enemy AI behavior, and we can move with our FPS controller. Also, we have added the attack state. Now the enemy can chase, and when he's close to us, he starts attacking. But we can't lose, and the game looks a bit boring without losing. Today, we're going to add an HP to our player. Then we are going to reduce it by an amount of damage once the enemy hits the player. Also, we can add some kind of a blood effect. And let's dive right in by creating a script which is going to be responsible for our player and all of the parameters that are related to the player. Under the scripts folder, let's right click, create, and it's a mono behavior script. Normally we call it player manager or game manager if you want. I think player manager is fine. Then we're going to double click on it to open it up in Microsoft Visual Studio. On top, we are going to add an integer, which is the player HP, using public. And let's make it static because static variables persist between scenes. And int, we're going to call it player HP. Under the start, let's set it to 100 by default using player HP is equal to 100. Then we're going to add some kind of a function that will reduce the HP once the enemy hits the player. Let's make it public, and it's going to be void for now. I'm going to call it take damage. We're going to use a parameter, which is the damage amount. Using int, we can call it damage or damage amount. Then we will simply subtract the damage from the player HP by writing player HP not plus equals, but minus equal the damage. For example, we're going to set it to 10 for the zombie, and for other enemies, we can set it to 20 if we have a more powerful enemy. Also, I want to display a blood effect or overlay. To do so, we're going to add an image to the screen by right-clicking under the hierarchy, UI, and we're going to add an image. It's created under a canvas. I'm going to call it blood overlay, using the Shift-Alt keys at the same time to take the whole screen. Also, I want to change the sprite to another one that is a bit transparent, like this, and change its color to a red color. So we're going to activate this for 1 sec when we take damage. Then we're going to disable it. By default, we're going to disable this. Also, I want to add a text that shows the player HP, or we can add a health bar if we want. To make things easier, I'm going to use a simple text under UI, like the Text Mesh Pro. I'm going to call it player HP or HP text. For the position, let's put it under this corner. So I'm holding Shift-Alt. Then I select one of these options, but use the Shift-Alt. And maybe we need to move it a bit to the right, like 10. By default, this is going to be 100. Here we need to add a reference to the blood overlay image and the text. By declaring these as public, even though it's not recommended, we can use private and add the serialize field that allows you to see the objects in the inspector. Use private, and this is an image. It's using the Unity Engine.ui package. We can hit enter. You see it is included on top. And call it blood overlay as well. To be able to reference it from the inspector, we're going to use the square brackets and serialize field. Also, I want to add a reference to the text using serialize field, private, and the type is Text Mesh Pro UGUI. We're going to call it HP text or TXT. Now, under the take damage function, we're going to activate the blood overlay by using blood overlay dot game object, then dot set active to true. But we only want to show it for a second. To do so, we need to wait under this function. And the way we do that is by creating this function as an IEnumerator, not void. Then to wait for a second, we have yield return new wait for seconds, and give it 1 sec. Then we are going to disable the blood overlay again, using blood overlay dot game object dot set active and false this time. Last but not least, we need to check if the player HP is under the value 0. We need to display some kind of a game over screen, but for now we'll simply reload the scene and play again. To check for that, we use the if statement. So if the player HP is less or equal to 0, we're gonna reload the scene using the scene manager dot load scene. That takes in the name of the scene. It's not player HP. So I'm using the tab key to autocomplete, but it's not always correct. Here we need to pass in the name of the scene or its index. For now we have this level 01, and to check for the name and the index, you could go to File on top. Under Build Profiles, we have all of these scenes. For now we have level 01. We can use its index, or we can load the current active scene. For that, we can get the current active scene and put its name under a string, a current scene or current level equals scene manager get active scene, yeah, and we want the name using dot name, and that's gonna reload our game. For now, we are going to update the text under the update, which is called over and over again. We can access the HP text dot text, and we use toString because this value is an integer and the text needs a string. That's why we need to convert it like this. We're going to save the script. I'm using Ctrl S, and we have to attach it to the object or one of the objects under the scene. I think I'm gonna drag it to the player capsule. We can move scripts. We need to reference the blood overlay, which is this object, and the HP text. Now we need to call this enumerator or start it at some point. Of course, when the enemy attacks, we have something that is called the animation event. We can call a function at a specific time or at a keyframe of the animation. If you select the parasite, which is our enemy, and go to Window, and we want to open up the animation window, we could also go to the scene and see it. We can select the attack animation. We have this icon, add event. We could go to the specific keyframe, like this, and we're gonna add an event. Once you do that, from the inspector, we can select a function, but for now we didn't have a function attached to the parasite. To be able to select it, we need to attach a script to the parasite, which we'll call the coroutine, using create monobehavior script and call it parasite. To be able to select the function from the animation event, we have to create it like this, using public void, and I'm gonna call it apply damage, or maybe attack. It's recommended to use find first object by type. I'm gonna use it. And we want to get the player manager. We have declared the enumerator as public, so we can access it. It's called take damage, like that. And it takes in the damage amount. We can pass it in from here, or we can create it as a variable on top so that we can adjust it from the inspector. The same thing, it's recommended to make it private. Using serialized field, we can access it from the inspector. Int damage amount. We're gonna set it to 15 for now. Then we can pass it in as a parameter. And this is a coroutine. Just write start coroutine and pass in this function as a parameter like this. And I think that's all for now. Let's save it and drag it to our enemy. We can go under the inspector and we can change the damage amount from here. Now we want to open up the window, the animation window, by going to Window, Animation, and get back to Zombie Attack. Under this keyframe, we're going to call the function. It's under the parasite script methods. It's called attack. If you haven't watched my previous video about adding the audio system to the game, make sure to check it out. I know it's been a while since I have created that video, but it is still working in 2026. So here we have the audio manager. I've already added this attack sound. Let's hear it. Make sure to use the same name. And now I think we are ready to test our game. I think the game looks better now. We have HP 100. We can't hit the enemy yet, but we can lose. You see, each time the enemy attacks, we have the blood overlay, and the player HP is updated. And now it is less than 0. That's why we have loaded the scene again, so that we can play. So I think that's all for this episode. In our next video, we will be able to attack the enemy, and we can win the game. You could also add an animation to the player if he takes damage, and I will see you in the next one.